All right, back to our video. This is this little area here. This is Landry's Guns. That's a gun shop. On the other side of there is a small little carport. My sister has her car in it. The house is about 1,200 square feet. It's technically 4-bedroom, 2 baths, with a kitchen dining room that's open. So the porch, that little cutout there, is the same size as the bathroom, which is jammed in between 2 rooms on the other side of the house. The upstairs section is in bad shape up there. At least it's not leaking, but it's just 2 big empty rooms designed as bedrooms. No closets, nothing like that. And underneath there is a living room and a bedroom and a bathroom under the stairs. So I walk out this direction looking back. I'm going to get a little bit of this before I pause it. That's the rear of the house. That building is, I believe, 14 by 24. That's basically, Dad bought it about 20 years ago. We threw a ton of stuff out of there and we're using it as a staging area with all the stuff we're finding we're keeping. That red barn back there has been around forever. I don't even remember when it was built. The little lean-to garage on the side is where I parked my car in high school, and it's in need of repair. But right now that has been totally cleaned out and we're using it to stage other stuff. Let me pause here and get closer to the pole/can barn back there. Okay, I'm now on the back side of that red barn. This is also like another little area. We kept motorcycles and 4-wheelers and stuff like that under it a long time ago. This was a total wreck. We pulled stuff out of here. I still got junk in the ground. This little building, I think at one point was directly behind my parents' house. And it was impassable and had a rat's nest in there that was the width of the building and up to about waist high. I'm not kidding. I have video and pictures to prove it. This was a lean-to that we finally pulled what was left of it down. This is the pole barn that's been added to over and over. It started out in the very middle of the place for my dad to keep his motorhome. Then he built the wings off of it, and unfortunately the back is starting to collapse. In here we've got 2 motorcycles, a 4-wheeler, 2 3-wheelers, 2 tractors not running, and we're using it as a staging area as we've cleaned stuff. We had a Volkswagen under here at one point. This dead spot here contained a van. Where I'm parked in the truck had 2 other vehicles we got rid of. That was a camper top that got used like maybe once. We're still finding tires to things that don't make any sense. That little white building in the back there, that used to be the fireworks stand that got drug around. I took all the valuable tools out, and what's left in there is a bunch of junk and probably a snake. This little closed-in area, I don't know what Dad kept in there, and this is all dirt floor. But I cleaned that out. There was tons of junk there. There was a sofa here that hid that Kawasaki motorcycle at one point. The Volkswagen was here and was literally rotting into the ground. Thank you, David, for buying it and getting ready to restore it. I've moved one piece of appliance out of here already. As soon as I move golf cart and some other stuff, I can get that refrigerator out. Let me pause here and move a little further back. So when I tell people I got a ton of property and a ton of crap to clean up, this mound right here is everything that just didn't make any sense. Multiple pieces of lawnmower, and people have picked through this and gotten some of the good stuff out already. I've got crushed up window units. This is a 16-foot trailer, and I loaded that entire thing yesterday. That basically came from what was partially under this barn and some of that pile I just showed you. We got rid of one male Jeep. That's number 2 that has married itself to that tree, literally. And we had another Jeep we got rid of in the back, a male Jeep and a military Jeep. This is some old military trailer or something my dad bought or did something with. I drug it up here hoping that somebody can pick it up. Now, all this was jungle until a year and a half ago when Janet and I started hand cutting trees out. There were appliances back there. There's a video of that somewhere. You couldn't even see them until we cut down trees to find them. Old travel trailer. I lived in this in 1985 through 1987 in college. Daddy never got rid of it. It was in the way. It was in front of that red barn behind the house. I got tired one day of squeezing between it and drug it out, flat tires and all, and parked it here in the field. So, on into the field. This used to be our cow pasture. Again, it's 1,300 and something feet all the way to the back where the barn is. And there used to not be this many trees. They've grown up over the years. And they've been trees out here. Last summer, wait, was it last summer? Yeah. Sometime last summer, this big pecan tree fell, and in fact, it fell to where I'm parked the truck. So it was 100 feet of pecan tree that fell across the property, and it broke somewhere 15 feet up into those bushes. It's not even our pecan tree. This was a complete jungle. We managed to clear this out so you can actually see through stuff, and you were not able to see all the way through there to the old shotgun house. Probably can't see it on this video. Recently we started cleaning up this area. That was completely overgrown. You could not even walk through there, and what you're looking at, that building that's falling down, was an old garage and also a crib that we kept cow feed in years ago. This is the burn pile of hell. We keep burning and digging up stuff out the ground. We've got one of the tractor barns. This has got the John Deere in it, an old wagon. It had a ski boat in it that my dad had since the 70s. The back side of that, some of the buildings have fallen down, but that used to be the hog lot, the chicken coop where we collect eggs and such, and just small animals area, I guess you could say. That building through the little woods there, that's the old smokehouse. Yeah, like smoked meat. All right, let me hop out. That building back here, this is nearly at the end of the property, is a pipe rack that has collapsed. There's tons of metal pipe in there. This is an old Metropolitan that my dad had long time ago. This is the old barn. The front's locked. There's a small room in there where it's got some ammo cans and a few other things and junk that needs to go. The back side is not locked, but it's got what's left of a floor and stuff in there. I don't know where it came from. This was an old cow feeder area. We've cleaned out all the junk I had in here. This, where I'm walking, was impassable by a riding lawnmower until about a year ago, a year and a half, say. It was so thick, that cow feeder that's falling down there, that's got the ammo cans and crap scattered in it, you couldn't even see it. It was impassable. This is a very back corner of the property where things have gone to die. We've got concrete culverts, the rear end of, I don't know what vehicle it was, more culverts, sewer pipe, the ever-present buoy, the back end of the old black Ford truck, I think. Got some not cross ties, creosote posts or telephone posts over there. And there's the end of the 1,360 feet or whatever. I'm going to pause here and move up to the two houses that's connected to this property. So what you've just seen is what's technically owned by my dad, 2 acres even of property with all those buildings and pieces and parts. And the property line is on the other side of that old tractor shed that I mentioned we had a ski boat in. This little building here, forgot about this one, I'm parked next to it. That is one of the tractor sheds where we kept the International Cub a long time ago. We still have the farm equipment for it in there. And let me pause here. Okay, passing past that red barn with the tractor. This little gray building was I don't know, horse lot or horse feeder or something, who knows. We had some buildings back here at one time that made up chicken coops, and most of the fence is sort of fallen down over there. This was completely overgrown. I mean, I've got photos of this, and it's unbelievable what Janet and I have actually done by hand. Coming up to my grandfather's house, this is his property. This is the old crib that is falling apart, and what is left of the garage. This is half of what's there, and half more was here before. This was garage for the car in the middle, workshop here. What's in this blank space was a mirror image and we kept tools and all in there. This was the old building we called a potato house. We kept potatoes behind the door to the left. This was my grandfather's garage for the black truck at one point. My dad converted it into a storage unit for water company supplies. Between this is a rack of more pipes. So we keep fighting the weeds to get under control. When Janet and I started cleaning this a year and a half or so ago, you cannot see these buildings. They were completely overgrown. There was weeds in front. This is the second piece of property my grandfather owned. He bought from his brother back in the late 60s. These woods back here were not there back when I was growing up. That's the old little wash house. Bathroom that was added on. Bedroom of sorts that was added on. Old shotgun style house that had 2 rooms and a kitchen in the very back corner. This is Caligo Lane or Monterey Lane, depending on where you grew up. For me, it's Monterey Lane. We used to have a fence here. It's long gone. This is my grandfather's house. It's in bad shape on the inside. Structurally sound, you could probably level it off again and make it livable, change out pipes and electrics. It's been here a long time. I don't know when they built it. I'm guessing end of World War II. It'd be a good point of reference. The little playhouse that was built for my sister when she was a kid. It's got a few things of junk in it. This was my grandfather's, I don't know what you'd call it, but he had a potbelly stove in there and he used to cook sweet potatoes. Hey. This was turned into more of a place for us to keep our toys, and my grandparents kept like cast iron pots and all. I had to dig the door out to get it open. Unfortunately, this old building is falling apart, as you can see. The back side was, I'm not certain what we actually kept in there, I just don't remember. This was completely overgrown. This was a chicken lot at one point. We've redone this. This fell like a week and a half ago. I got to get a ladder and cut that out of there. I'm getting another shot to the back here, that red barn with the tractor in it, and this small little building to the right, to the left, were a string of buildings were mostly falling down, and Janet and I finished tearing them down a year ago, year and a half. The smokehouse I mentioned earlier, and there have been assorted other buildings, and I've got scattered metal in here, and bricks, and house blocks, and tin, and just stuff everywhere. We're marking stuff so we don't hit it anymore. This cedar tree fell, and it took me forever to cut it up into enough pieces to burn some and do some with. This was completely overgrown. Just worked on this just a couple of weeks ago. Poor old barn garage is just falling down. Like I say, the floor in the crib is gone. I'm just waiting for it to have one good breeze and maybe knock it all down. So yeah, you won't believe all the stuff that's still in all these houses. And so when people ask me, oh, y'all still dealing with all that? Yeah, we are. It is light years ahead of what it was when my parents were alive, and this was all overgrown. It had gone totally to hell, but we're making progress. And I don't know if it's slow. I don't know if it's just that much. It's overwhelming. It's just a lot. So that 16-foot trailer loaded down with junk, I've made at least a dozen trips to the garbage dump, and you name it. I've packed up clothes, pieces, parts, lumber. I've given away so much metal. I'm sure there's a couple of people that had a month's salary or more of free metal I've given them, and I'm happy that they came and took it off my property. Oh yeah, and that was a ski boat, what's left of it. My nephew is working on it. I'm not certain what he's going to do with it. I don't care. Right now the rims are completely rotted, so he's got to get that before he can drag it anywhere. I turned the camera and let you look at me, but I look like crap because I've been working all day, and thank goodness there's no such thing as smell-o-vision, because it would not be pretty. But for all my friends and people have asked about this, and I'm making this just so partially to say, man, there's a lot there, but you just don't know how much we've already done, and there's still more to go. Thank y'all.